Hi everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you from behalf of TaxBuddy. I'm Nitisha Jain, Assistant Manager of TaxBuddy.com, and I welcome you all in our today's session with a new topic. Today we are going to discuss about the major things which are going in now onwards, like to know everything about the ITR form, what you should know about ITR form, according to your income, your sources of income, in which ITR form you are falling into, how you can choose the correct ITR form. On this topic, we are going to discuss everything about. So before starting the session, I would like to tell you that if you have any questions during the session, you can just post down in the chat box and I'll be taking up all the questions at the end. So without any further delay, let's move towards our today's agenda. We are going to discuss about the introduction first of all, what is ITR forms, how you have to file and everything. Then why you should file the ITR forms. What are the types of ITR forms, and this will be followed by Q&A session. Coming on to the introduction part, if I say like income tax, what do you understand by ITR? ITR is a form, income tax return is a form in which the taxpayers file information about their income earned and tax which is applicable to the income tax department. As the name suggests, income tax return. This is that kind of return in which you have to show the income which you have earned during the particular financial year. For the whole year, whatever income you have earned, all those income you will have to show it in a single return in the IT, that is called ITR form. Department has notified 7 various forms: ITR 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 till date. Every taxpayer should file his ITR on or before the specified due date. As of now, for this financial year, for the assessment year 22-23 and financial year 21-22, the last due date is 31st July 2022, which is just after 2 days. So I request you all that if still you have not filed your income tax return, kindly file it on time and avoid the last minute penalties or after the due date penalties and the last minute hustle bustle also. This applicability of ITR forms varies depending on the sources of income of the taxpayer, amount of the income which is earned, and category of the taxpayers like individuals, HUF, company, all those. Now come that why you should file the ITR. So if I say like why you have to file the ITR form, so for this purpose, it is mandatory to file the income tax return in India if any of the conditions mentioned below are applicable for you. First of all, first major condition is if your gross annual income is more than the basic exemption limit, which is as specified in the particular table given over here. For individual whose age is below 60 years, if you are earning above 2.5 lakh, then it is mandatory for you to file income tax return. For senior citizen whose age are falling into 60 years above but below 80 years, in this year slab, if you are falling and you are earning more than rupees 3 lakh, then mandatorily you have to file the income tax return. And for individual who are super senior citizen, which means their age is above 80 years and they are earning more than 5 lakh rupees a year, for them it is mandatory to file income tax return. If so, these are called the basic exemption limits. If you are crossing the exemption limit, then it is mandatory for you to file income tax return. But if your income is below these limits, then it is voluntary to file ITR. But yeah, if you file ITR, then it is very well and good. Then another condition comes that if you want to claim any income tax refund from the department, then it is mandatory to file income tax return. Then only you will be eligible to get the ITR refund from the department. If you have earned from or have invested into foreign assets during the financial year, if you wish to apply for the visa or a loan, if the taxpayer is a company or a firm, irrespective of profit or loss. Also, you are mandatorily required to file ITR even if your income is below the basic exemption limit. But if you meet any of the following conditions, like you have deposited an aggregate amount of more than 1 crore in one or more current bank accounts, or you have incurred an aggregate expenditure of more than rupees 2 lakh on foreign travel for self or any other person, or you have incurred an expenditure of aggregate of more than rupees 1 lakh towards electricity consumption. Then if the TDS or TCS exceeds rupees 25,000 in the previous year, in case of senior citizen which whose age are above 60 years, this limit will be 50,000 rupees. Another condition is in case you are a businessman and your total sales or turnover or gross receipts exceed 60 lakh rupees during the previous year, you are liable to file a return if you engaged in a profession and your gross receipts are more than rupees 10 lakh during the previous year. If you are satisfying any of the following condition which I just told, then it is mandatory for you to file the income tax return. Whatever will be your whatever will be your exemption limit, but it is mandatory to file the income tax return at that point of time. Now comes the another question, that which ITR form should I file? I'm having, say for example, salary and business and profession income. Then people think that which ITR form am I eligible for? Do I need to file only ITR 1 or do I need to file ITR 3? What is the scenario? Now we'll be coming on to which ITR should be filed by you as per your sources of income. The following information which I'm about to tell you will help you to find out that which type of income tax return is applicable for you for the financial year 21-22 and onwards. Once you figure out which ITR you need, you can just easily file income tax return without any problem. First, ITR, ITR 1, or I can say very simple ITR. This return form is for resident individual whose total income for the assessment year 22-23 includes income from salary or pension, or income from one house property, excluding cases where loss is brought forward from previous year, or income from other sources, excluding winning from lottery and income from income from resources, or agricultural income up to rupees 5,000. If you are having any of these income, then you have to just file a very simple ITR, which is ITR 1, or we also say it's SAHAJ ITR. There is also one thing, that who all cannot use ITR 1 form. In that, the category comes is whose total income exceeds rupees 50 lakh, their agricultural income exceeds 5,000 rupees, if they have taxable capital gain, if you have income from business profession, if you have more than one house property, if you are a director in a company, if you have made investments in an unlisted equity shares at time during the financial years, owing assets including financial interest in any entity outside India, including signing authority in any account located outside India, if you are a resident but not ordinary resident and non-resident, if you are having any kind of foreign income, if you have any brought forward loss or loss which needs to be carried forward under any other income head, if any these kind of income sources you are having, then you are not eligible to file ITR 1. ITR 1 can only be filed, suppose if you are having a salary income, along with that you are having only one house property, then you will be filing just ITR 1, that's it. Then comes the ITR 2. ITR 2 will be filed, ITR 2 is for those individual or HUF whose total income of the assessment year 22-23 includes income from salary. Whatever income which you are having in ITR 1, all those income will be forming part of ITR 2 as well, which will be income from salary or pension, income from house property. In ITR 1, it was income from only one house property. But in ITR 2, it is income from house property, which means that even if you are having more than one house property, then also it is well and fine. Then ITR 2 will be applicable. ITR, so I said ITR, sorry, income from salary or pension, income from house property, income from other sources, including winning from lottery and from racehorses. If you are an individual director in a company, being resident, non-resident, and non-resident, then income from capital gains if you are having any foreign income and your agriculture income exceeds rupees 5,000, then you are eligible to file ITR 2. Along with that also, if in case payment or deduction of tax has been deferred on ESOP, or if you have any brought forward or carry forward loss also, which needs to be carry forward in any other heads of income, then in that situation ITR 2 you can file. Further, in a case where the income of another person, like one spouse, child, etc., is to be clubbed with the income of the assessee, this return can be used where such income falls in any of the above categories. The total income can be more than rupees 50 lakh. ITR 1 can be filed only if the income is within 50 lakh limit. But if the income is more than 50 lakh total income, then ITR 2 will be applicable for you. There is one more thing that some people cannot use this ITR form. Those are those individuals whose total income for the assessment year 22-23 includes income from business or profession head. For declaring these type of income, you may have to use ITR 3 or ITR 4. We'll be discussing now in the next slide. Current ITR 3 form is to be used by any individual. ITR 3. Yeah. So this current ITR 3 form is to be used by an individual or HUF who have income from a proprietary business or is carrying a profession. Person having income from the following sources are eligible to file ITR 3. Now, whosoever is having income from business or profession, if they are individual director in a company, if you have made investment in unlisted equity shares at any time during the financial year, this return may also include income from house property head, salary or pension head, and income from other sources. And also income of a person as a partner in a firm. If you are having income from any of these heads, also if you are having all the 5 heads of income, then also ITR 3 will be applicable for you. In short, individuals or HF who are not eligible to file ITR 1, 2 and ITR 4 should file ITR 3. Now comes that who can file ITR 4 or Sugam ITR. The current ITR 4 applies to the individuals and HUF partnership firms other than LLPs, which are residents and whose total income includes. First one, business income according to the presumptive income scheme under section 44AD or 44AE. Professional income according to presumptive income scheme under section 44ADA. Income from salary or pension up to rupees 50 lakh. Then income from one house property not more than rupees 50 lakh, excluding the amount of brought forward loss or loss to be carried forward. Then income from other sources having income not more than rupees 50 lakh, excluding the lottery and resources. So basically, in short, I can say all the ITR 1 income. Along with that, if you are having any business and profession income which you earned in presumptive income head, presumptive scheme under section 44AD, 44ADA or 44AE, then ITR 4 will be applicable. In this, please note that any individual earning income from the above mentioned sources as a freelancer can also opt for presumptive scheme if their gross receipts are not more than rupees 50 lakh. Presumptive income scheme under 44AD, 44AE and 44ADA is when an individual or an entity opts to derive its income on a presumptive basis. That is, when the income is presumed at a minimum rate based on the percentage of gross receipts or gross turnover or based on ownership of the commercial vehicles. But if the business turnover exceeds rupees 2 crore, the taxpayer will have to file ITR 3 form. There are some more conditions for those who cannot use ITR 4 form. Those includes if your total income exceeds rupees 50 lakh, if you are having more than one house property, owing any foreign assets, or if you have any signing authority in any account located outside India, if you are having any source of income outside India, you are a director in a company, or you are having foreign income. If any of these conditions you are having, then you cannot file ITR 4. Now comes, these are all the forms which are applicable to individual as well as HUF also. Now, some other ITRs which are ITR 5, 6 and 7. These are the ITR form which generally is not used by a common individual, but people who are having firms, LLPs or any association of person, for them ITR, and companies as well, for them ITR 5, 6 and 7 plays a very important role. Now, coming on to ITR 5, that ITR is for firms, LLPs. LLPs means limited liability partnerships, then association of persons, AOPs, BOIs, which is body of individuals, then artificial judicial person, state of deceased, state of insolvent, business trust, and investment trust. If any of these are having, if you are having any of these, if you are having any LLP, if you are having any firm of yourself, then you will have to file ITR 5 mandatorily. ITR 6 is to be filed for companies. For companies other than companies claiming exemption under section 11, which is income from property held for charitable and or religious purpose, this return has to be filed electronically only. And for persons including companies required to furnish returns under section 139 4A, section 139 4B, 4C, 4D, 4E and 4F, ITR 7 comes into the picture. Now, what are those sections? 139 4A is required to be filed by every person in receipt of income which is derived from property held under trust or other legal obligation wholly for charitable or religious purposes, or in part of only for such purpose. Then 4B is required to be filed by a political party if the total income without giving effect to the provisions of 139A section exceeds the maximum amount not chargeable to income tax. Return under section 139 4C is required to be filed by every scientific research association, news agencies, association or institution referred to in section 1023A, then fund or institution or university or other educational institution or any hospital or other medical institution. Return under section 139 4D is required to be filed by every university, college or other institution which is not required to furnish a return of income or loss under any provisions of this section. Then 139 4E must be filed by every business trust which is not required to furnish a return of income or loss under any other provisions of this section. And last, which is 139 4F, that must be filed by any investment fund referred to in section 115 UB, and it is not required to furnish a return of income or loss under any other provisions of the Act. If you have any of these sections you are falling into, then you can file ITR 7. But for individuals, for common layman, ITR 1 to 4 are very important, and those ITR I've already told that if you are having what income, according to that which ITR will be very useful for you. Then if you have still confusions, then you don't need to worry about anything. You can just visit to taxbuddy.com website, or you can just download the app from Play Store. After downloading, you can just click on to start filing, and as per your sources of income, you can select the plan and tax expert will be assigned for your case. You will have to just submit all your documents to them and just sit back and relax. Or your entire ITR work will be done by them in a very short period of time. Now, because time is also left very less, 31st July is the last date, which is just after the 2 days. So I request you all to file your income tax return on time and take help of the tax expert. Just visit to Tax Buddy's site and experience these things. So this is all for today's webinar. If you have any questions, I'm happy to help you. If you have any queries even after the session, then you can just write to us at support@taxbuddy.com. This is our support mail ID and number. I am sending you on the chat box. This is our support mail ID and number. And thank you so much for joining the session. See you soon.